Okay.
Well, let's call this meeting to order at 5:15 p.m. I'd like to welcome everyone to the board meeting and thank Lori for troubleshooting
Yay,
and
thank
doing
you.
the hard work of
Woohoo.
Cheryl's
Yes.
job in Cheryl's absence. Thank you. And let's just acknowledge our guests and jump right into the consent agenda. Has everybody had a chance to review the agenda?
Yes.
I have.
Any questions? Questions, concerns? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda as posted.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of approving the agenda, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Motion passes. And we'll move into the approval of the April 13, 2026 meeting minutes rather. Has everybody had a chance to review those?
I move approval of the April 13th, 2026 meeting minutes.
And I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you. Motion passes.
Is that Mary
Invitation.
Jones on? She must be.
Yep, Mary
Yep.
Jones is with us.
I
We
hear her
can't see
voice.
you, Mary, but welcome. We're glad to
Yeah.
hear you.
I heard the
Thank you.
voice.
Thank you. I am here.
Okay. This is the time for public comment. Invitation for public comment available at the beginning of the meeting is an opportunity for the public to comment on any issue within the jurisdiction of the Tillamook Bay Community College Board of Education. Do we have any public comment for tonight? Okay, hearing none, we'll move right into new business. 4A, the campus grand opening update. Britta, please take it away.
Yes. So campus grand opening was Saturday, April 18th, which I just can't even believe was a few weeks ago already. We had a lot of great community partnerships. Pelican was one, the transportation district with the trolley, Tillamook County Creamery Association. We had Sugar and Air, and then Garibaldi Portside Bistro. Paul did a great job of kind of covering the kind of history of TBCC and where we had been and where we were at. It was really exciting to hear from John Carnahan and dedicate the plaza to him. And we had really great participation from the community and the campus community. Here are just some photos that John Garcia took. There was a really awesome video that he had done over the course of the last 2 years throughout construction. It's our allied health folks. And it was just really great. There was a lot of people that worked really hard on this building project. And then, of course, we couldn't have done it without the community's support from the bond measure back in 2022. So it was really fun to see it come to fruition. And there was a lot of staff and faculty members that worked really hard to pull this off. So I know many, or if not all of you, were there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And it was a lot of fun. So
Ooh, I like that one.
yeah, it's not a good one. A good shot. People loved the letters. They were doing exactly as we intended them by standing by them and taking photos. It was a lot of fun. And we've got that video that John put. He did a phenomenal job. He did that voiceover by himself. We all were just like floored. So it was great. And that's on our Facebook page and on the website if you want to check it out or reference it to everyone. And we had some folks from Oregon Coast Community College come to the grand opening and they're working on a MIT building project, and they just were like, hey, I heard it went so well, like what'd you guys do, like your video was fabulous. So it was great to be able to showcase the hard work from a lot of people.
Thank you, Britta. It was an outstanding event. You did a great job. It was, I agree, the video was wonderful, the turnout was wonderful, the food was great, the trolley was fun. I heard from lots of people in the community, the whole, the game I forget what you called it, the game where people had to get a stamp from every building. That was
Yeah.
genius because people actually went from one
Yeah.
building
Oh, yeah.
to the next in order to
Mhm.
get their stamp.
And took the
Yeah.
trolley.
They took the trolley, so it totally worked.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought the whole thing was just outstanding. And I loved for me, the most moving part was John Carnahan's talk. And it was, it was great to have Michael introduce him and to have Paul and Michael and John all talking, and John's history of the college was just outstanding. So
Yeah.
I thought everything about it was wonderful. So bravo.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was definitely a team effort, but I was really pleased. A 65-degree in the spring on a
Yeah.
Saturday is hot competition
Sunny.
for folks. So with over 200 people there, I was thrilled.
Yeah, it was great. Anybody else?
It just went so smoothly. It just seemed like it was all planned so well in advance. So thank you for the amazing planning that was
Oh
done.
yeah, definitely a team effort, but thank you. I'll pass that along.
I think it was nice how many people came from outside of the area
Yes.
that
True.
knew.
Yeah.
We had the senator from, down in Coos County.
Yeah.
We had people from up in Washington. I mean, it was just the whole spectrum of the full host was involved in it, and it was really nice.
Yeah, I couldn't have been happier. You never know when you put something together like that, you're gonna have 50 people and that's just our family, or are you going or are you going to have community? And I think we probably had, if I had to guess, I'm thinking in 250-ish range. Britta, what do you think?
So.
Maybe
I'd agree
somewhere,
with that. Yeah.
yeah, plus or minus. I mean, I think it was really, really just good, and it did encourage people to go check out everything. And I couldn't have been happier. I know Britta and her team and Jason and his team really put a lot of effort into making it a special day. So it's great.
Yeah, well done, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, and we'll move into 4B, the Budget Committee meeting update.
So I'll just give a brief update. I didn't know, when I put this agenda together, what would be the outcome of the budget committee meeting. The budget committee did approve the budget, so we are working on the approved budget. We did have a couple questions. I think they've been resolved, correct, David? Nothing really impacted. It was a roll-up thing, so nothing really impacted any of the information out. Is that correct, Dave?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so we'll have that fixed in the approved budget. I know Lori and Dave have already been working on putting that together, and so that'll be out to you all on the June board meeting.
Great, thank you. Okay, anything else on that?
Any questions from the board about that?
All right. Then we can move on to 4C, the board schedule for academic year 2026, 2027. This is the second reading and an action item. Is there anything you want to say about it?
No, we haven't made any changes since. My only question would be based upon the conversation that we had in executive session. Do you like the way that October 12th is set up for the board retreat and the board meeting? I do think we haven't planned the board retreat yet, so we can continue the conversation that we were having before in that as well, and have, carve out enough time. You just need to tell me how much time you want to have for that, and then we can build around that if you think that's enough time for you all.
What day of the week is
Um,
October 12th?
It's a Monday.
It's a Monday.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
right
okay.
before a board meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the afternoon before a
Yeah.
board meeting.
I will try to zoom in, but I don't know. I'm going to be in New Mexico taking a Navajo weaving course.
Oh, good for
You
you.
I
are
know, so
You're a jet
a,
setter.
wow,
So
Maryland.
many adventures. But I'm not, the course is not on that particular day, so I may be able to find a place.
Okay.
That has access.
Yeah, a library or something.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, how fun.
I think we should start in the morning.
In the morning?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
we'll
think
start
if
in the
we
morning.
start at 9,
Okay.
then we could continue the conversation we had this morning until lunch.
Okay, so we'll have an executive kind of session early on.
Yeah.
And then we'll continue on with, that way we'll have the afternoon for our normal bit. Maybe we can provide a little bit more passing time in between the retreat and the board meeting. How about that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay,
So the board meeting would stop start supposedly at what time?
9-ish.
Yeah, well, the
retreat.
retreat starts at
The board meeting started at 5,
5.
at
the normal
5. So you're saying it's an all-day thing?
all day, all
Well, I guess
night.
it is a retreat. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, and night.
Hey, at least we have good cheers.
Right.
Last year, the retreat was painful.
Okay, anything else on the academic year, the board schedule?
We're gonna have a June meeting, right?
We have a June meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's this year. That'll be our last one of the year. We do not have a July meeting this year because there's not an election.
This is just the academic year.
Yeah.
June,
Right.
what is it, June?
Okay, okay. If we don't have any more questions or comments, I would entertain a motion to approve the board schedule for academic year 2026-2027.
I'd move we approve the board's meeting schedule for 26-27 as presented.
Thank you.
1 second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Motion passes. Okay, let's
Okay.
move on to 4D, the President's 2024-2025 evaluation and 2025-2026 contract.
Oh,
So,
actually, those dates are wrong, actually. 25-26 evaluation and 26-27 contract.
thank you.
Sorry about that. My fault.
It's all right. My
Oh,
fault for reading it.
yeah, well,
Okay, so what I'd like to say about this is that we started a very meaningful conversation about presidential goals and the evaluation process. And it was a, rather than just write down our answers and present them to Paul, we started a conversation. We're talking through the process, and it was really good. And so we want to continue it. We want to continue that process in the board retreat because I think we all agreed that it was a very meaningful conversation and we were getting more out of it than we have our former process. So we want to continue the conversation, and we're all absolutely agreed that we want to we're supportive of rolling Paul's contract forward. We're very grateful for Paul's leadership and want to move his contract forward. So the continuing the evaluation conversation is not tied to moving the contract forward.
right.
So we want to move the contract forward tonight and continue the conversation, the leadership conversation with Paul in October.
Mhm.
Anybody want to add anything to that?
You did a beautiful job explaining it.
Thank you. Okay. If there's nothing else, then I would entertain a motion to extend Paul's contract for the 2026-2027 year. It's a 3-year rolling contract, so we're just moving it forward, extending.
I move that we
Extend.
agree to extend the contract 2026-2027.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hooray.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for your leadership.
Yes, thank you.
We're fortunate to have you in the role.
Likewise, my pleasure.
Mm.
Okay, let's move on to item 5, the service area review.
Do you have
Sorry.
access? I think I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I think I shared with everyone. Are you unable to do that?
While Joanne prepares to present to you all, let me give you a little background into what she's going to be presenting. This board meeting and then next month as well, you'll have presentations to you, which will be our service area reviews. Service area reviews are like instructional reviews. They're part of our part of the process that we use to evaluate the quality of the services that we provide here at the college. We do that within our instructional programs. We also do that within our operational programs, right? And so they're a part of how we evaluate the quality, the effectiveness of the work that we do. We talk to you quite a bit about, I talk to you probably too much about service area outcomes, right? Our SAOs. So each operational area sets outcomes for themselves, specific goals that they set for themselves around the impact that they want to have in their specific area of work. And then we were on a 3-year cycle, but we're now on a 5-year cycle. Every 5 years, each team will pause and spend a significant amount of time over the course of a year, really evaluating the work that they do. Do they have the team that they need in terms of capacity? Do they have the budget that they need? They'll look around at other institutions. How do other institutions provide those kind of services, and what can they learn from other institutions about how to provide that service? They'll perform a SWOT analysis, and what can they learn through that in terms of how they might improve or change or grow. And then bring all that together and write kind of a summative report from in terms of all that they've learned. And then that report is shared with leadership. It's also shared with our college council. College council has a rubric, a set of criteria that they use and apply to that service area review, and then provide feedback to the team, in this case to Joanne. Around the review, where they feel like that the team could improve or could do more. I think Joanne's learned a little bit. We need some, I don't want to say better metrics, but Joanne's her work area really includes 4 separate work areas, and we could probably measure more. I kind of hate that they caught me in that. Like there's probably more data we could collect. It exists, and we haven't really kind of captured a lot of it. So we're going to do a little bit more in capturing more data to show the impact of all the work that she does. So college council reviewed all of that, and then the last step in the cycle is to present the results of that to you, and that's where we are. And next month, Jenny Case will present her opportunity programs to you, because she went through the same process. All right. Are we there? Is it not working?
So it says, the system says it's sharing, but.
While you're working on this, I will share that the ASTBCC report, so I'm just jumping ahead momentarily.
Yeah.
To 4B. Simone is unable to attend the board meeting tonight, but she sent along her report. She shares, congratulations on the opening of the AHS building. ASTBCC hosted a midterms carnival event Wednesday, May 6th in the lobby. This was an opportunity for students to relax and socialize in between classes. That sounds fun. PTK collected 234 items for the food pantry. Well done. And we are on the hunt for president and vice president for next year's term. So thanks to that group of dedicated students.
How about that, Joanne?
Well, it'll work. I mean, so I will have to tell her what to do, but then I've lost all my presentation notes that I normally have in presentation, but that's okay.
You're just gonna have to wing it.
I'll wing
But
it.
you know your program so well that
Yeah,
I
it'll
think you're
be
gonna be all
fine.
right. Yeah.
It'll be fine. So I can be wherever you want me to be. I can
You're-
sit
you're-
here, I can stand up there and
wherever
act like
you-
I'm
wherever
an
you're
instructor or whatever you want.
Anything you like.
We can hear you.
I've got a microphone here. Okay, so I'll just tag team with Lori. Okay, so most of you know me. I'm Joanne Fratelli. I am the coordinator of community education and continuing education here at TBCC. And this service area review is for the 2020-2025 program. and which I'm happy to say that I actually worked here that full amount of time. The first program review, I started here in 2019, and they said, do a program review for the last 5 years. It's like, I wasn't here. So the 4 areas that this program manages budgets and programs of community education, continuing education, non-credit workforce, and customized training. So go ahead. So the community education provides non-credit lifelong learning opportunities for Tillamook County residents, which we include partnerships with Tillamook YMCA and North County Recreation District. Now, this is where I'm missing out on my notes because I was going to make a note of community education, our opportunities like for people to learn photography, some computer classes. We had computer class, basic classes for seniors. Then I had a great advertisement for the cryptozoology class that's coming up this summer to learn about the urban legends of Mothman and Swamp Guy and Sasquatch and all that. And I don't have my notes, so I can't tell you all about it, but fun classes. So the community ed classes, the non-credit classes are often the fun classes that we can offer here at Tillamook Bay Community College. Continuing education. So we partner with Virtual Education Software Inc., which is short, we just call VESI, for some online CEU and PDU courses that meet state requirements for the Oregon licensed K through 12 teachers. So that's where continuing education is often for the workforce that already has a set career. So the K through 12 instructors and getting their continuing education. So same thing, with other industries that if they have to reach that continuing ed, that's where that CEU or professional development units come through. Go ahead. So non-credit workforce. So in my notes, I was saying that the Tillamook Bay Community College truck driving program, the CDL program, is probably the most visible program that TBCC offers, is because of the size of our trucks and they're driving around the county. So people do see our trucks, and I often tell the new students to remind them that they're basically driving a TBCC billboard going through town. So make sure that they're being kind, courteous drivers. So from 2020, so the truck driving program started in 2018, but in 2020 to 2025, we have trained 169 commercial truck drivers.
That's great.
And of that 169, I went through, because I usually know if students, I try to get back and find out if they've, have got a job, if they're employed. Sometimes they're already coming here with, their employer is sending them here for training. But of all those 169, there was only about 18 students. I really didn't have any contact, know for sure that they had plans of what their employment plans were, or if they were working at the time. So according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the national mean hourly wage for heavy and tractor trailer truck drivers, Class A, is about $26.92 an hour, which equates to roughly $55,990 annual income. And Oregon averages about $37 an hour, so around $77,000 annual income.
So, yeah.
Another part that I oversee is the customized training. So we collaborate with local businesses and agencies to provide customized training for employees. And some of the more recent projects we did with the Tillamook County Creamery Association, we contracted training with them to offer English speakers of other languages courses and Spanish classes for their employees on the job site. So we had Katie Nelson. She was one of our adjunct instructors that had, we had a contract with her to go to the creamery to teach the ESOL classes. And Maiko, she has taught the Spanish classes there. That has kind of changed now. They have shifted their workforce to 4 10-hour days. And so it makes it a really, really long day for their employees to stay another 2 hours. I mean, that's 12 hours on the job. So they're kind of put everything on pause and we're kind of re-looking at that. But we ran that for probably 2.5 years of doing that. And then another example, the city of Tillamook, they reached out to us because they had purchased a welder and they wanted to make sure their employees, they all had some welding skills, but they wanted to make sure everybody could safely operate that welder. So we again had a contract with them to go on the job site using their welder with their employees so that their employees were skilled on using their equipment. And that's just another example of customized training. And then ODOT, and then just recently, Washington County sent employees out here to use our truck driving simulator because a few years ago we purchased software on the truck simulator to simulate a snowplow. So they can come here and learn how to drive the snowplow when it's nice and sunny like this. So yeah, that's worked out great because a lot of times with ODOT and the counties, they have new people come on in the summertime to do road repair and all that. And so they're busy learning, working on the roads. And then all of a sudden they have this window of like September that it's still road building time, but yet they really have to get skilled up for snow because October, the snow is going to start flying already. And so we've managed this year, we got them right in that window, but then they never really got any snow this year too. So, but they were prepared. Okay. So the service area of our department here is 2 full-time employees, myself, and then Corey Scott is the CDL coordinator / instructor. And Corey is just an extremely patient instructor, and his focus a lot is for safe operations of driving a commercial truck, and he prepares the students to pass the CDL skills test. And he just does an excellent job, and I just feel like a lot of the, greatness of our program is with Corey, just because by word of mouth, the students are so impressed with his instruction that they tell other people. So it's a lot of word of mouth that comes just from how impressed they are with his teaching skills. So that's the main portion of our area. The area also includes, like I said, from time to time with customized training and just with the community education. Occasionally we have TBCC staff, community members, and adjunct faculty that help out as well. Okay. So financially, over the last 5 years, with the growth of the customized training and the CDL truck driving program, more than $825,000 was generated and 177 FTE earned. So the FTE is full-time equivalent, and 1 FTE equals 510 hours. So that's a total of 9,270 hours.
Jeez.
90,000.
90,000, yes. And that's like 10 years.
That's great.
That's a lot of hours in 5 years. How did we do that? So anyhow, next. So every program review asks us to kind of look at some our SWOT, so strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So I had reached out to the WorkSource and different areas, and also to Zwald Trucking, and so everyone's just feels like our strength is with including our partnership with the YMCA and the NCRD. The CDL truck driving program is just overall great strength. And then relationships with the SNAP program, the STEP SNAPS program that we have, funding for students, and WorkSource Oregon funding opportunities. So weakness, I just felt kind of overall this, and I prepared this like a long time ago, starting to work on this. We had quite a bit of time last spring. I think we started on it, and just kind of forecasting a potentially weakening of our relationships between departments with just our multiple campus buildings. That it's just something we all will work on and figure out as we expand more and more into different buildings. Okay. And then and then I got bouncing trucks that come in. Did I go? Did I go? There should be one more. You can click 3 times on this slide. It should work. Oh, nope. But go ahead.
That way?
Yeah, it's fine. They might pop in. So opportunities, the growth potential for the CDL program. You know, as much as we can grow, Corey's doing all that he can. So to grow any more would be possibly offering, you know, getting a part-time instructor that might be available to teach on the weekends or in the evenings in the summertime when we have more light. And then threats, this was at the time too, when we were kind of like, what's happening? I just see potential threat could be if, you know, we lose any federal funding towards CDL students, which would, you know, funding through the SNAP program, funding through the WorkSource Oregon, because a good majority of our students receive some aid from both of those organizations. Okay. So every year we have service area outcomes. I have little things that flash in once in a while. Oh, nope, you went too far. Go back.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, too many.
So I just chose a couple service area outcomes. Every year we set some goals. We kind of decide, you know, what can we measure, what our goal's going to be. Then we go back and look over the year to see, did we meet that goal? Did we exceed that goal? You know, what happened if we didn't? So this is just a couple examples of the 2024-2025. So I was looking at with this customized training, I had come across this English upskill app that is really career focused. So we thought we would try, we had some funding that we could try piloting that. So the goal was to maybe register 6 students just to try that upskill app. And we were actually able to have 22 students register in the new English upskill program. And so that exceeded that goal. As far as it actually rolling into customized training at the time, how I envisioned it was going to work, that piece has not developed and rolled into what I had hoped, but we do have students using the app. Okay, next. And then another example of a service area outcome for the 2024-2025. So we were going to measure the increase of the number of in-district students registering and completing CDL training. We have a lot of students that travel from Newport and Astoria, and they come here. So we were just kind of seeing, well, how many did we do in 2023-24? We had 22 students that were in district here, and we had the following year 25. So our local students in that year's time, we did exceed by 2 students. So those were 2 goals that exceeded. Okay, next. So as I mentioned before, a possible expansion. So TBCC is the only CDL Class A training provider on the North Central Coast, located between Astoria and Newport. And on the average, 14 CDL students a year travel from outside TBC's district. Tillamook is a prime location for CDL training with access to the Port of Tillamook Bay road system for students to develop entry-level driving before entering public roads. Future CDL program expansion may include hiring a part-time CDL instructor to train on weekends or summer evenings, and possibly looking at offering heavy equipment training someday down the road. We've had in the past, Newport has asked us to come down there. We attempted to go down there one time. It was a sanitation company and they had a big parking lot. Once all of their sanitation trucks were out on the route, you know, then we could use the parking lot for training. But it was just hard because they're located right off of Highway 101. So you take these students who are trying to learn how to shift a big semi truck and you just drive like 2 blocks and then you're on Highway 101. You know, it was very dicey. We did it, but it was dicey. So I always just tell everybody that, really, we're such a prime location. We are halfway between Astoria and Newport. Most
Yeah.
students always have to drive somewhere for training anyhow. We're just fortunate our students don't have to drive very far, the local students. But with the Astoria coming here, people will say, oh, I don't want to drive that far. And I'm like, you want to get a CDL license? You're going to be driving all day long. Get used to it. So anyhow, I really support, really focusing on this as kind of the central place for training, and people can continue to come. If the other colleges want to figure out their own training lots, well, they'll figure that out. But for our expansion would be possibly, like I said, to include some weekend training or evenings. Okay. So just in conclusion, as I mentioned before, the CDL and customized training generated approximately $825,000 and 177 FTE. TBCC CDL training program is in line with the Rural Guided Pathways goal to prepare students to secure a living wage job, which was shown $55,000 to $77,000 income. And then our partnership with the YMCA and CRD generates 479 FTE, usually every year.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it. Question.
Well done.
Oh.
Well, thank you. Like I said, I wish I had my notes.
You did
You
great.
did just fine.
No, it was great.
Thank
And I think this really is a niche, and we don't ever have to worry about North or South starting their own programs, just because it's cost prohibitive at this point for them, so.
Well, and it's interesting. So Astoria has asked before, and initially, TBCC taught in Astoria because the instructor
Correct.
lived in Astoria, and he would travel to Tillamook to teach the Tillamook
Yeah.
class. But we don't get too many from Astoria. They think the students decide if I need to travel, they'd rather travel into Portland than to come to Tillamook.
Oh.
It's the same way in whether they have family they stay with in the Portland area, or the roads are better and faster, whatever, that they just opt to go that way. But we do get more and more coming from Lincoln County, not necessarily Newport, but, Lincoln City, that area, so.
Well, it was an interesting dream from the get-go, and you've put some tires under this program. Rather than legs under
A
this
bunch of them.
program.
Definitely.
So kudos to you and Corey. I see him
Thank you.
out there on the road on a regular basis, and he's always got a big grin on his face.
Yeah,
So, he's found his niche.
he has. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Really positive presentation.
That was terrific.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to the financial report. Dave.
Okay, so we're looking at financials through the end of March, so 3/4 of the way through the year. Everything's tracking like we would expect it to. We've got most of our property taxes in. We'll see one more payment from the state there in April that hasn't posted yet, so we'll see our revenue bump one more time. Expenses are looking awesome there. On average, we're running, around 62%, where we should be tracking in the 75%. So everything's running 10 to 15% under budget right there. That's what we expect to see, with the budget being a little bit padded last year, maybe, but we like it. We're seeing the results of the hard work and cost reduction too, and the RIFs. Nothing wildly exciting there. Any questions on anything that sticks out?
Not for me.
No.
Anybody?
No.
What is wildly exciting is that we're doing so well
Mhm.
managing the resources that we have, and that's always been the typical MO of department heads around here, and to the point that we were even telling folks they need to spend some money So we don't say that anymore.
No.
No, I'm not talking recently, Michael. We don't say that anymore. So, but good work on everybody's part for just managing our resources as well as they have.
Yes.
Truly.
Keep it strong.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
David.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Dave.
So we can move on to the construction update.
All right, thank you. Lot going on, so here in the AHS building, we are currently working on a punch list, so there's quite a bit of work being done. A lot of buttoning up, final as-built, a lot of electricians running around finalizing panel schedules, so you know what breakers are what. Landscaping is complete, and we're trying to get everything established, which the weather has been very helpful. So this building is looking good. We're gonna start the closeout process, which is a long drawn out work process for getting the project closed out now. It's a good step. We're still, working through learning a lot. I think people are starting to get settled in the building, which is exciting. And they're getting a little bit more comfortable. A lot of students, traffic is starting to flow back and forth, which is fun to see. So that's exciting. CIT building is, I would say 98% done. We're starting our punch list over there, which is exciting. Our first semi full of heavy equipment left, I believe it was Tennessee, is where it's coming out of. It shipped out this Friday. So our first semi heavy equipment for that building is on its way. I believe it arrives the 19th, which is really exciting. We're starting to transition more equipment from the port as well as the high school. So that building is wrapping up. A beautiful building for industrial space. I'm really excited to see it come online, so it'll be fun to see more furnishings being installed over the next couple of weeks. Welding booths that are custom made for the facilities are being delivered June 20th. And that will kind of really start to bring it to life. Our goal is to move over summer term out of the high school, as well as continue construction of the new facilities, building in the back of CIT. That will replace, if you remember, our little facilities shop that was on the entrance of the old campus, which is really exciting. Next, we're starting to change our focus to the SLS remodel. Things are starting to move forward there as these other two projects are buttoning up. Rhoda and Michael's teams have been working in small groups for space use. Coming up with some great ideas. I'm starting to talk with vendors, looking at safety and fire, what we can and can't do. So that wheel is starting to spin, which is really exciting. We're going to start moving some folks around, getting prepared to reduce the space. So over the next probably 6 to 8 months, we'll start seeing a lot of activity and remodeling the store. And I think the main focus of that is all student facing. So that will, students will be the priority on that. So that concludes my report. If anyone has any questions?
So when will the CIT building be put into use?
It will start in fall term.
Fall term, okay.
So I believe we're built out a schedule for fall term. We'll start to have all our classes from high school starting in fall term.
Great. Good.
Any questions for Jason otherwise?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the president's report.
Thank you. You have some detailed comments there, so I'll just highlight a few things. Enrollment wise, it looks like we'll probably finish up about 10% for the year, Aaron. Is that correct? I think.
It's gonna be close, but yeah.
Going to be close. So
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
that's.
what, maybe 9? Is that what, you know?
I like double digits.
I know you do.
Can you just find me 1%?
You betcha. Get me on the phone and
Yeah.
I'll do what I can.
That's funny.
I think, but that just shows again, I think the continued trust that the community has in us. I think, a good bit of that certainly has to do with the growth of our health sciences programs that fuels interest in the campus and brings us a lot of enrollments in some of our other general education classes. So that's been pretty exciting to see that. That's going to level off at some point. We can't maintain double digit or even high single digit growth indefinitely, but it does mean that we are meeting some folks that we weren't currently meeting before. And that's always good to see that we're making a difference there. As we talked about in executive session, a lot of our work, strategic work in programming evolves around aligning our work with some of the rural guided pathways work that we have going on. And again, just to kind of summarize in a nutshell what that is having intent programming that provides opportunities for economic growth for our students. And that's our goal. Rhoda's mentioned before, we don't want to graduate students into poverty. I will mention, you saw Joanne's slide about the CDL program and the average median income for CDL drivers in the county is, or was it the state?
State.
County,
Yeah,
county,
state.
whatever, it was $50,000 or something like that. $55,000, I believe, was for the county, wasn't it?
Oh, that was nationwide, nationwide, but
national.
Oregon was higher.
Oregon higher, right? So, again, just to put in perspective, I don't know if I've shared this statistic before, but I believe I have, is that if you look at Tillamook County has roughly 11,000 jobs. Only about 30% of those jobs make over $50,000 a year. So it is very impressive to think that a 4-week program can be that transformative in someone's life, to be able to give them that sort of mobility. So kudos to that there. And we'll continue that work. I mean, we're looking at trying to increase pipelines into those high-paying areas, not just in the truck driving, but also, the trades, healthcare, education, general transfer. These are areas where we're really trying to make sure that we're making good conversations and intentful decisions around that. One of the things that is supposed to support some of this work, especially in the transfer world, is work in the state of Oregon to improve access to transfer for our community college students. Oregon does not have a good history of making transfer easy for students from community colleges to one of our 7 public institutions. And that's because, for the most part, our 7 public institutions have 7 very different requirements for students when they transfer. So that makes our job very difficult, and especially at a small college where we don't have the capacity to offer all of these different courses that some of these institutions may require of their transfers. That means that when a student comes from a school to a University of Oregon in particular, or an Oregon State, they look at their transcript, they unpack their transcript, they give them credit for this, not for that, not for this, and students end up repeating a lot of credits, and that's lost time and lost money on their part. Some of the work moving, and Oregon has tried for a couple decades to crack this nut, and hasn't been that successful. One of the things that we're working on now is looking at what would it look like if the state of Oregon, if we could agree on a set of common core lower division common core classes of 30 credits to 40 credits the students would take, that would satisfy, no matter what transfer institution they went to, at least satisfy all of their general education requirements in their lower division courses. You would think that that's a no-brainer, but boy, is that a challenging one. So I anticipate a lot of struggle to get people to do this without some sort of strong arming from the legislation to move this work forward. But we continue to talk about it, and hopefully we'll be able to make some benefits there. I do have Oregon President's Council meeting starting Wednesday or Thursday. That one of our topics of conversation always is around transfer and trying to get a sense of how, as a system, lowercase s system that we have here, how can community colleges work to make transition and transfer for students a little bit more straightforward. It's challenging because a good bit of the problem, I would say, is not ours to solve. So that makes this work a little bit frustrating, but we'll keep trying. We did have the All Oregon Academic Team Luncheon. Seems like it's been a lifetime ago, but it was really just a little bit more than 3 weeks ago. I think I made a mistake. Were there 4 students that we have instead of 3?
4, but 3 of them were at the luncheon.
That's what I was thinking. So we had 3 that actually came to the luncheon, which was nice. I couldn't attend, but Rhoda and Michael attended and honored our 3 students, and the 4th one couldn't attend. Oh, and who, Pat and Betsy were there too? Oh, Mary Faith and Pat were there. Oh, great. Well, I'm sorry I missed that.
Yeah, it was April 17th.
Yeah, I had, I was not able to sit in the car at that point. Then April 18th, we had the Grand Campus Opening Plaza dedication. As Britta mentioned, I could not have designed the outcome any better. So again, the hard work really paid off for that, and seeing John light up and I thought I was going to have to play the music, get the hook or whatever I mean, people say that about me too, but he was, you think I'm verbose, Marilyn.
He was succinct, actually.
Yeah, he was succinct. Oh my goodness.
For him.
Yeah, but what a wonderful guy, and what a great honor, and we're excited to keep this up in his honor. As you can imagine, we're in the middle of transitions here on campus on a number of levels, moving into the new building, trying to make sure everything works with that, trying to address the issues that have been created from our reduction in force and not filling positions. We have outsourced some of our HR responsibilities. Excuse me. Britta has taken on some additional responsibilities and serving as our liaison for that, and certainly has invested a lot of time lately. So thank you, Britta, for that in the implementation of that. I think when all is said and done, it's going to be very good for the institution, but as any kind of thing, change is challenging. We got to get some structures in place to support it, but I do think it's going to be good. I know Britta has had good interactions with our person who's been assigned to us to manage all of our personnel matters. So that's been really good. Similarly, we're looking at not outsourcing IT, but we recognize that there is some opportunity. Suzanne, you asked about how can we share services and whatever. This is an area where we're trying to make some of that happen. A number of institutions use a product called Genzabar, which allows us to manage all of our software as a solution. Enterprises from financial, we don't use it for financial aid, do we? But student records and student services, scheduling, financing, budgets, all of that we use this Genzabar product for. There are 5 or 6 colleges in the state that use that, and we're trying to align the small schools, Treasure Valley, Southwestern, and TBCC, so that our instances of that product are similar enough that we could share a higher level sort of chief information officer position to help us with that. I think that's the only way some of this can work. And then what we would be required for personnel here is we need personnel that can manage the infrastructure and the local issues that we have with the product here. So we're looking at that. This gentleman, Eric Ellis, was the Chief Information Officer at Treasure Valley Community College for quite a while, and he's been working with us to try to identify some high-level projects that we could use to start aligning some of these resources. I have a meeting next week with the president from Treasure Valley and the president from Southwestern to discuss what would a shared service look like from the standpoint of that high-level cybersecurity Chief Information Officer level position. So I'm pretty excited about the direction of that conversation. And I think we know that we are not using our software and other products as efficiently as we can, the way they're designed. So we're really working at trying to do that. Michael and Rhoda have been leading a lot of this work with Cheryl, who's on the first vacation she's ever taken in her life for 3 weeks, driving with her granddaughter to Missouri to see some family that she has seen. So I haven't got an update how she is along the way, but she did. We did have an instance with Canvas and things that you may have heard about before that she was texting and emailing about that yesterday. So she is still on the job, but we're trying to ignore her a little bit. But that work's going really well also, and we hope she comes back. This is not an attempt to try to get her to outsource her position. It's a transition planning position that we're working on here. We did have, and I don't know if I saw anybody at the grilled cheese bar from here or not, but we did have, we served grilled cheese a couple of weeks ago, April 24th. I've done this each year for the past couple of years, and it's been kind of fun. Again, just trying to provide spaces for community and people to engage around that. Already shared the results of the budget committee meeting. We won't need another budget committee meeting, thank goodness. The approved budget will come to you all in our June board meeting. Their college council met a couple weeks ago, and they've been working on ways to strengthen their membership and update their charters. So I think that's led by Claire Sabatka, our librarian, and so I think that's been going along pretty well as well. So that's kind of been the work we've been engaged in over the past month. Just to kind of remind you all of some observances. May is Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So we recognize the contributions that individuals of those descent have made to our country. And so I appreciate that. It also is Jewish American Heritage Month. So again, recognizing the contributions made by Jewish individuals is important. A couple other things. It is a mental health awareness month. As someone who has struggled with mental health issues over my life, I recognize the importance of drawing attention to this, destigmatizing this, and recognizing that this is no different than, well, it is different, but it is just as important to address in our lives as diabetes and other kinds of things. And we often treat it as that's somebody else's problem to deal with, but it's not. And so again, let's remember those that might have these issues they're going through that aren't visible, and it does impact their lives tremendously. And with the right support and help, we can address these issues. National Military Appreciation Month is also the month of May. So I'd like to take this time to recognize and honor members of the military, veterans, and their families that have provided quite a bit of support to our community, our state, and our country over the years. And of course, as part of that, we have Memorial Day on May 25th to recognize those that have fallen in that service. And TBCC will be closed in honor of Memorial Day on Monday, May 25th. Some upcoming dates, as I mentioned before, I have an OPC meeting, which is Oregon President's Council. On Thursday, we have an OCCA board meeting, which is the Oregon Community College Association board meeting the day after on May 15th. Both of those meetings are at Columbia Gorge Community College. So I'm looking forward to going out that way.
But I'm doing it Zoom.
You're doing a Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, we'll see you on Zoom. We are planning on having a visit from Senator Merkley's representatives, I believe still Britta on May 27th. That's still on the books early in the morning. Basically who it is it's his education policy. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. His education policy person from DC will be out here going to some of the local community colleges, and they'll be here bright and early on that morning, taking a tour of the building and talking about, any issues in education that we feel Senator Merkley could help us out with. We'll be able to have that conversation with her there. Our next board meeting is June 8th. That marks a Monday evening of the busiest week on campus for Executive Director Lawrence, because not only do we have that board meeting, the next day we have a nursing pinning ceremony. You all are invited to our nursing pinning ceremony. The time at which escapes me off the top of my head. Jason or Britta, do you remember? It's in the evening, 6 o'clock maybe.
Yeah, let me check my calendar really quick.
That'll be a good event. They are for 14 nurses that are graduating, being pinned. How many people did they tell us to expect? I think a lot.
Yeah, it's at 5:30. 5:30 to 7-ish.
Down in the community center, and I think that there'll be a large crowd there. I suspect we'll have 150 people or so that'll be present for that. It's a big event. Those of you that have nurses in your families or whatever, that pinning ceremony is a big event recognizing the dedication and time and effort that those individuals have put into this, and they take the nursing pledge and so forth moving forward.
What date is that again? I'm sorry.
That's Tuesday, June 9th. Yeah, 5:30. It's down in the community space. And then graduation is June 12th. So that's exciting. That is still at the fairgrounds this year. So if you can attend, that's great. It is really a highlight. And I believe if you are attending, let us know. We've got, regalia to wear and things like that. And then the following week, we will have our employee recognition barbecue where we'll honor our employee excellence in action awards for our non-exempt and our exempt employees. We'll recognize years of service for some folks. We'll have a barbecue as well for that. So that should be kind of fun there. So you all are invited to that. And that'll be starting, probably we'll start the recognition around 2:00. And then we'll move into the barbecue after that and go till we're out of food.
What day was that again?
That is a Thursday. It is the
11th?
The 18th.
Oh, 18.
The 18th.
Oh,
And it is the day before Juneteenth, which is June 19th, which is a holiday for us, and the campus is
Oh,
closed
yeah.
on Friday. So we're doing that to kind of just kick that off.
mhm.
And then lastly, again, we talked about it. I couldn't have been happier for the work that was done to make the open campus and ribbon cutting a success. All of our employees showed up despite challenges that we may have been having over the years and the stress and emotions that have been involved. TBCC really came together and showed our community that what we can do if we work together and build together. And so again, thank you to everybody who was involved in that event. And that is my report.
Thank you. What time, do you know yet, what time you'd like the board to be at graduation?
What do you think? I'm not in charge, Rhoda. 5-ish? Starts 5:30.
Yeah, usually if you put like 4:45, get down and get some pictures ahead of time, if not 5 to later.
Over at the Dairy Barn.
Okay, 4:45 at the Dairy Barn.
4:45 at the Dairy Barn. It's
Gotcha.
With our regalia.
We're gonna,
if you have your own regalia with your
yeah,
regalia.
I know, we bought some.
Oh, we
stuff
bought
for
some.
the
We
kids.
rented. Okay.
I have my colors, but I don't, and the hat, but I don't have the black gown. So
Yeah,
I
They
need the
did,
gown.
they did get black gowns.
we get it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I need somebody to help me put it on. I
Yes,
can never
that's what they
figure out how
do.
to put
He's
it
over
on.
there
The
helping us put
draping,
it down.
the
Yeah,
draping
yeah.
is tricky. Okay.
I think we even got fancy stoles that say TBCC board member.
Oh, very
So,
nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Well, I'll
Very
just be
nice.
all layered up.
Okay. Well, I hope everybody can make it to graduation. It's really, it's so very meaningful and
It
one of
is.
my favorite things to
Mine
do as a board member. It's really just wonderful.
Not this year, still over at the
Oh,
fair.
is it? Okay, it's over there. All right.
Yep, last year at the
Okay.
fair.
But we will clean the chairs and shovel it out.
Yeah. So going back in the agenda for a minute, when we were talking about extending Paul's contract, what I didn't say but I'd like this community to know is that Paul told us that he would not accept any kind of COLA or raise for this year because it's been such a difficult year financially and I want the community to just be aware of that it's it's the right thing to do for the right reasons and in a painful year I really appreciate that leadership, so thank you.
Yeah. you're
Thank
welcome.
you. Yes, we all do.
Okay, do we have any board member discussion items?
Great
Just a
example.
reminder that we have a joint meeting with the foundation board on what day? Britta?
Could be 8th.
The ninth. It's gonna be a busy day. You can stay for
And
the
the tier
meeting and then
systems.
go right on through to the pinning.
And is that at noon?
It's at.
Okay,
Yeah.
and is it here? Where are we doing?
So because we might have a bigger crowd, we might be in one of the community spaces.
Okay,
That's the same day as pinning.
Yeah. Oh, so
Yeah.
I'll let you know once Lori and I talk to Jason.
okay. All right, thank you. And that's lunch. We're having lunch together and a board meeting.
Yep. So when it gets a little bit closer, we'll send out a menu, get everyone's orders.
Okay.
And then send out the board packet and maybe some like a little bit of kind of fun icebreakery stuff. Michael's favorite.
Okay. Terrific, thank you. Any other board member discussion items? Mary, are you still with us? Anything? Maybe not.
I am.
Oh, hi.
I just had to unmute myself and I don't have anything more.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I've been a little quiet and I'm not on camera because I got home in the very early morning hours this morning from my European trip and I'm kind of a mess.
Right. Was it wonderful?
It was wonderful. We did 4 countries in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And, yeah, so we had a lot of walking and train riding and it was lots of fun.
Oh, good. Well, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And congratulations on the 30-year anniversary for Pelican Brewing.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
That's what's going on.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
Thanks so much.
It's been that long.
Okay, well, if we don't have any board member discussion items, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I said,
All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 We are adjourned at 6:20. Thanks, everyone.